I'm going to go ahead and say it, one of the most amazing MCs.
Yes.
You can't get that from me unless you've done it consistently for years. At least 10 minimum before I even consider it.
Yeah.
And I recall a time when Lupe might have been 1, 2, 3 years in the game, and we did our hottest MCs list. And I remember seeing Lupe at Red Hill City Music Hall. We was doing MTV something, the Video Music Awards, and we were inside. I don't know if you remember this, doing a rehearsal, and Lupe ran up on me in the aisle and said, "Hey, why you didn't put me on that list?"
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
I remember all of that. Scars. I'm scarred from.
You're still wounded from that.
Yeah, I'm wounded. It's a trigger.
When you did that, though, the fact that I remember is because I clocked that. I archived that moment. Because to me, that had nothing to do with industry. That had nothing to do. That was purely culture and MCing. Like, and I know who you are, Sway. I've seen you, and I know you know. Why am I not on that list? Well, that list has something to do with industry, you know, and in retrospect.
But I sell records.
Yes.
I've sold records, Sway.
You did. Yes. Yes, you have. At that time. At that time, though.
Hear him out.
At that time.
I'm just happy that Sway finally being interviewed. So go ahead, Lupe. Get at him. Get him.
At that time, though, I can't remember who was on that list at that time, but it was only enough room for.
What year was this?
Come on, Heather.
Lupe.
Really? It's
Lupe
2024.
What year was it, Lupe?
Heather, let me ask you a question.
Okay, talk to me.
How many numbers are there?
How many numbers?
Yeah, numbers.
99.
Wow, that's
That's
an interesting
nine numbers.
question.
9 numbers.
Infinite.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
numbers.
Infinite.
So you could just put as many numbers as you
On the
want on
list.
there. You can,
That's
there's enough numbers to be like, yo, let's add an extra number. Then you could do decimals,
Okay, yeah. Halves.
halves,
Yeah, I like the
quarters.
halves. Yeah.
You know, in thirds, integers. You could get real like specific.
And negatives too.
Right, now I
Yeah.
could have been negative.
You could have been
I could have
negative.
been a negative joint, right? Wow.
Sway.
What's the question?
Why wasn't Lupe on the list
There
in
was
When there's so
2000
many
and-
numbers
it's
available.
2000 in number.
Oh, I
To
see what
put
you're
on
saying.
there.
Okay, I see what you mean,
Good
Lupe.
question.
Well, let's say if we did a list today, though, you know, that list was an aggregated list of 9 to 10 different opinions.
And it was 9 to 10 people. That's crazy.
Yeah,
People,
man.
how many did you know? Because you ran up on Sway. Who else was on that
He
panel?
knew Shaheem Reed.
Team Shaheem. Wow. What's up with you, Sean? Crazy.
He knew Tuma Basa.
That cat.
That.
He knew Nadeska. Okay.
Wow.
He knew Ramon Dukes.
Supposed to be family.
He knew Jason Rodriguez.
Right.
He knew Rob Markman. He knew them all.
See what happens to
Wow.
people when you get them in the interrogation room? You see the snitching?
They start telling.
Wow, you
We
are.
ain't know.
Yeah, you are. That's crazy. Yeah,
Sway's
you
the
did it right
op.
now.
I've been telling y'all for
I
years.
just wanted to give them props because they're
that what they
incredible
call it?
people. Yeah, you know, they was there. And then sometimes people get it wrong.
I'm not saying that it was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, we not even finna do that.
No, we ain't gonna go there.
We ain't
Okay,
do that.
no, but that was
That's
just. But the point I was
right
making,
to the
Yeah.
point. Yes.
because this young man, Overcast, who came on the show, had made a comment before freestyling that I'm gonna do it anyway. If I mess up, I don't care. And Lupe said something I knew was tried and true to his heart. You should care. And when you came to me and said that, I loved you for saying it because I knew that you cared, and I never forget that. And from that, it helped me understand the type of artist you are and the type of person you are, even outside, because it's all intertwined, ain't it? You know, when I see you work on your craft and your skill set, and you're doing martial arts, and you're posting this, and you're giving context, even just through your movement. You may not even say nothing, right? But it make you pick up a book and go, well, let me use some, let me research this. Why is Lupe doing, what is he getting from this? And the fact that he's introducing us to this is incredible, right? Looking up Samurai, your name of your project is Samurai, right? And it made me think, man, this is a black man, right? And he's working with the long and the short swords. And, I read a little bit about samurais. Who was the first? What do black people matter? What do they factor in this history?
Right.
And I want to ask you, can you talk to us about that at all?
The first person that I've ever seen with a samurai sword, and then samurai clothing, we call it ei kekogi, which is the hakama. The top is kindogi. Swords are called katanas, daito, shoto. Was my dad.
Wow.
Oh, snap.
And I have to keep reiterating to people, I did not learn karate or martial arts or the samurai arts from a Japanese person.
Yes.
I didn't learn it from an Asian person at all. I learned it from my father, who was the blackest of the blackety black, grew up in the projects of Chicago, Robert Taylor Homes. Black man, learned it in Robert Taylor homes, learned martial arts and taught martial arts in the projects of Chicago, right? And all of his students. So the next person I seen with a samurai sword was another black man, right? And then the other person I seen, first person I saw do karate was a black man, and the other person I saw was a black woman. The first person I seen do Aikido was a black woman, right? First person I seen judo was a black man. So for me, it was black, right? It wasn't like a different culture. It was our culture, because there was a Pan-African flag in it, and there was also a djembe drum, and then there was also the hood, and there was also these other things. So for me, it was never separate from the culture. And the way my dad always put it out, he learned martial arts from a Korean guy who was teaching, and he could only learn it from a Korean guy because the Japanese people were told by the FBI not to teach black people at the time, because you're dealing with Black Panthers and even the gangs in Chicago, vice lords, all these other things that were on watch from the FBI. And it was like, well, we definitely can't teach them how to fight. That's why the Nation of Islam had to teach themselves their forms of martial arts and jiu-jitsu. But they wouldn't do it. So it took like a Korean guy by the name of Master Shin, who's actually still alive in Chicago, to teach my dad judo, teach him karate and teach him other things. And then my dad took those lessons and took them back to the hood, and taught gangsters and criminals and drug dealers and police officers and little kids from the hood and the range of blackness. So my martial arts experience, for me, is black. And I ain't got to get into, Yasuke and histories and all these other things, which, I can start just from my life. And the reason a lot of people even know about samurai swords is because of who? Lupe Fiasco.
There you go, man. Because nobody... That's how they know.
Right? It's like, Lupe do the swords. That's how I seen the first,
That's amazing.
Yeah, for me, it's and all respect due to every culture and every group of people. But at a certain point, realize, for me, it's black culture. For me, martial arts, for me, the way I learned it, the way I was taught, where it was trained, where we were, the people that we were fighting against, it was blackness.
It was blackness. Yasuke is, if you can, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he was from Mozambique. And he was one of the only recognized black samurais that was nonfiction in the 1500s, perhaps, right?
Yeah, so his story is different things, right?
Okay.
And he has a cultural presence in Japan. And there's been stories of Yasuke from Japanese people to Japanese people, internally about, he was this black man who went up through I don't even want to start naming things because I wasn't prepared to have a conversation about it.
He was serving an Italian lord, and then the person that he serves summoned him out because I guess black people weren't around back then, so he kind of, that's what the story is, that he summoned him out of service, and then he started serving Nobunaga, I believe it's
Nobunaga.
Nobunaga.
Yeah. Okay.
And served him until his death.
So that's the stories are weird because it's like the only people that had access, the only European country that had access to Japan for a long period of time was Portugal, right? So it would be, and Portuguese had slaves, right? The first country that actually started slave trading with Africa out in terms of a European context with a Portuguese. So the earliest artifacts of kind of slave trade come from Portuguese, then it's passed on to like the Dutch, then the French, and then it eventually lands on the British, and all that stories. So there's something about like were there Italians in Japan who were trading with Japan and had slaves and was able to kind of swap out and stuff like that. So my piece is like I think it was Portuguese.
Okay.
And that's how it kind of went. But the story is the same, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't that many black people around. They tried to wash off his skin because they thought it was just like tar
dirt
or
and
something like
yeah.
that, right? But you got to take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, what's the goal of the story? At the end of the day,
okay,
what's the goal of the story, right? We need more black warriors today.
Okay.
There's actually a film supposed to be in production about his life that was announced back in April of this year. So we'll see.
There was an anime that came out too.
Video
about
games.
Yasuke,
There's a lot, yeah.
But the moral of that story is we need honorable,
Yes.
right, multifaceted, able to be in any culture. And a black man who's incorporated himself. So was he being like cultural appropriation, right? Able to manage and work his way up through this foreign kind of piece at the highest level, right? And then also fight and do these other things. So we need more of that. I hope that's the moral of the story. Not like, oh, black people invented samurais.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. All right.
all right.
I like
Cool.
that. When you say I will battle any MC.
Here we go.
I don't care
See how
who
it
it
starts?
is.
I was waiting for it. I hope it didn't have to go here. But now we're here.
I will
I
battle
can't wait till this
any
phone start ringing.
I don't care who it is,
Right.
old, young, or new, or otherwise.
Yep.
I will battle any MC on this planet. Nobody's better than me.
Right. Yeah.
End quote.
End quote. Do I need a question?
No.
That's what you said.
Give me a question because I don't want to set myself up.
No, I'm not going to set you up. I just, when I hear about these trainings, and I know the story about your father because we covered it a little bit when we came to Chicago years ago, but I want people to hear it over and over again because they tend to forget. How does that, your training, these philosophies, are they, they transcend into hip-hop. They correlate into your competitive spirit or your spirit as an MC, right? Does that help to fuel that? I will battle anybody.
Yeah.
The same way, when you practice your martial arts, it's the mentality is the same.
Yeah. I'll give you a couple anecdotes and try to speed through them so we won't go too long, right?
Okay.
So, and you don't think about it until you're 40. So I'm 42 now, right? And you don't think about, how has because to me, I even said it just now, it's like I am rap. Like I don't try to do it. Like that's how I think. My brain is just in raps. So it's not like I'm finna switch into rap mode. It's like, nah, I'm finna just open up my mouth and then you put a beat on and then raps are gonna start coming out. Are they gonna be good? I don't know. So I've been doing martial arts my entire life. Since I would say before I was born, because my mama was doing martial arts, and I'm hearing, sounds, and I always told people I could count Japanese because of the martial arts before I could count to 10 in English, right? But purely for the martial arts, simply because that was the language of the dojo was, each knee, san, shi, go, right? We used to on the way to get into and this goes to the competition, the toughness and my mentality, how I look at things, how I come across. I'm like the rap David Goggins or some shit like that. To get into our dojo, to get into our school, right? You could come in through the front door and it'd be like an office, and then you talk, that secretary, all that. But to get into the actual training hall, right? It was a bed of rocks. And you couldn't wear shoes. So every day that you're walking into the dojo, and out of the dojo, you have to walk across this bed of rocks, right? So that's one. Then in the dojo, we used to stand on nail boards, right? So my dad made these nail boards and used to sit and stand on the nail boards, right? When we did our black belt or just training seminars, my dad would make a bed of coals. He would start a fire, get a bunch of coals, then rake the coals out, and you had to walk across the coals. He would put a boiling pot full of water, and then he would put all these items in it. So he would put like weapons in it, boards, and a big stone. and put this big stone in this boiling pot of water, and it would just boil for like the whole day. And then when it was rolling, he would like, okay, reach in there and get the stone. Oh. And all the students, the 3-year-old students, the whatever-year-old students, all the students would have to get something out. And so the wood would float on top, so people would just get the wood off top, right? But you had to touch that, right? There's this thing called the shinai, which is used in an art called kendo, which is a bamboo sword. And we would stand there in whatever stance, and my dad would just hit us, boom, 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 light us up. And that was part of our demonstration. You couldn't move, and he just hit you, pop, 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 pop. So for me, like physically, and the things I've endured physically since I was 5.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing, my father would say, go fight them. Like, you have to go fight that. Or go jump over that wall. Or jump out that window. Or jump over that car. Or walk across that glass. Or run out in that snow. Or pick up that fire. Or catch this arrow. Right?
Yeah.
So he would shoot arrows at us. You know, at the dojo. This is all child abuse. This is DCFS. Hey, DCFS, are you listening? It's too late now.
It's too late now.
Too late now. You're 42, dog.
My father's passed, and I think the statute of limitations is up. But this was a daily occurrence.
Wow.
You know, this was our house. This is where we lived, right? So take all of that and put that into like, yo, this dude want to rap against you.
Okay.
Got it.
So okay. So Royce didn't know what he was in for.
Stop it.
Wait.
Stop it. We don't talk about other people on this show.
Okay. All right. Well, I was thinking about that.
I know you were. See, it's happening.
It's happening.
I didn't bring up no names.
I'm here every day. This is what I
Well,
deal
that was
with
a beautiful, interaction.
But to that point,
Yeah.
you know, even and you know, shout to all the Sosa ITs. Chino XL is actually IT. Was the reason that we call ourselves IT at Sosa. He was a master member at Sosa, a grandmaster actually, because we did the same thing with us. After you can only like apply for your masters at 20 years when you're in Sosa. But anyway, or 10 years, I apologize. But anyway, so even all those cats, any given moment, you know, on the Sosa WhatsApp group, oh, it's on, and we talking the best in the world.
Yeah. Right.
So we talking about Osiris Anthem IT, who's literally the 3-time best MC in the world, best freestyle champion in the world, right? He's on there, and it's like, let's go. It's like, all right, fuck you, nigga, let's go. Like, what's happening? You getting destroyed, right? Yeah. But then maybe you won't. Maybe you might hit him with a little thing or catch a little piece that he did, but all the time you're getting better. So for me, it's about any competition, anywhere.
Okay.
In anything.
Yeah.
If we gonna run up the hallway, if we finna lift some weights, if we finna, you know, do whatever, right? Okay, cool, let's go. So that's just my spirit, but it comes from that, to your point, right?
See, that wasn't so bad.
Talk to the person. It was bad. I know.
Wasn't so bad.
Every day, Lupe.
Okay,
every day.
let me change the subject then. First of all,
please.
Samurai is an amazing project.
Thank you.
Okay, like for my taste, you know, I'm going through songs like, geez, I don't understand how someone who's rapped so long has so much fresh ideas. And ways of rapping and presenting it. It's like a style that evolves, just constantly evolves. And it feels like even you're so effortless when you was freestyling today that this is pure mastery as far as rapping goes, in my opinion. So you don't get writer's block no more.
No, writer's block is a myth.
Okay.
Once you establish, hey, you have to say it, like you know, manifest, like that's a myth, right? Then it becomes like you start to like, why? Like, so what about it? You start to pick it apart, break it down. Like, what are those things that hinder you, that constrain you? And then what you start to do is start to lean into those constraints. Like, you lean into the limitations, right? And you start to realize that they're not as big and bad as you thought that they were, right? And you start to develop, and then you start to win against the constraints, right? You start to get comfortable with mistakes, then you realize mistakes are just opportunities to build and evolve into new things, and that we are mistakes. Our body every day is making mistakes, adapting to certain things, interfacing with different environments and different inputs. And then we, out of that, at a certain, either it could go bad, you know, too many mistakes, you got cancer, right? Too many builds up the other way though, right? You beat cancer, right? But you gotta live it. You gotta do it. But you know, there's no writer's block. That's not a thing. I teach that to my students. There's no right. There's no such. So, one, you have to turn in assignments, right? There's no. I couldn't do it because I had writer's block. There's no such thing as writer's block.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just proved it to me. I don't know how to freestyle. We freestyle every day. You just did it, right? Let's go. So I try to remove as many excuses out of my way, and then out of the way that the people that are around me, for them to get better.
Yeah.
To improve.
What's been a challenge for you personally, like to remove excuses from?
I deal with that I'm a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is days where I'm like, yo, I'm a bad person. Like I've done some bad shit. But it's weird because I'll be down on myself. I'll be feeling something. I have an argument with one of my business partners, or I get caught up into something personal, right? And I'm just sitting there sulking, trying to come to terms with, what's the issue? Like, how come every time I say something, people take it harshly, or I rub people the wrong way everywhere. Every situation. Even now with Overcast, when he's in the lobby, you came over and talk to.
Yo, but dog, I said, Lupe, you got to know this kid. He's up and coming. He got beats. This. I think it might be a connection here. Lupe looked at me like, nigga. He didn't say shit though. He just looked at me. But see, I didn't take that no way.
I got a resting bitch face.
You really did. It was a crazy. I looked at him like, oh, I didn't take it no way. I ignored it, right? And then y'all. So
as trivial as that, but the possibility. But I know what's going. I know what I'm doing. Like, I kind of want to know if he can really rap. I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
Yeah.
Can you rap?
Yeah.
Right. If you can't rap, I don't give a fuck what is happening. Right. That's just how at 42 I ain't got time.
Yeah,
right? That's just what that is. And also I don't want to say trivial is that because we came up had the ill freestyle session and he actually can rap. So I'm out there listening to his music and watching him like, oh, this you? Okay, cool, I got you. Right? All the way to like in the streets was niggas like, yo, why are you in these meetings with these killers with the resting bitch face? And it's like. Because they killers. Like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to look tough. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. This nigga's a thief. This nigga's that. So I'm trying to manage, like, my persona and manage my output and stay present, but also kind of, like, be wary of, like, how I carry myself. My partner, Chill, shout out to Chill, he just checked me the other day. He's like, yo, you just can't be talking to niggas like that. And I was like, but that's the only thing I know. I'm David Goggins in this bitch,
Shout out David Goggins.
So things like that. Those things bear on me really deeply, to be honest, and I'm managing how to do that, how to kind of be a better I say it to be a better person. But the kicker what I was going to get to, and I'll land on this, is I would be sulking on that, thinking through that. You see me like, what's Lou thinking about? He's thinking about how he's a fucking Bane or something, right? Somebody walk up to me like, yo, man, you changed my life. Or like, verbatim, you the reason I get up in the morning.
Wow.
Right? And it kind of, that duality of me down on myself, but then being like, literally this little white lady is the reason that I'm the reason she gets up in the morning and continues to stay up. And every day it's a fight for her. And she uses me to inspire her to get. It's like, it fucks me up in beautiful ways.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a villain. Yeah, I get that. Lupe Fiasco is here, man. I always wanted to ask you about Child Rebel Soldier.
Why you keep bringing up these contentious...
Is that contentious?
It was kind of contentious.
I didn't know that was contentious.
It's not for reasons that you think. Me and P are cool. Me and Ye are cool. It's just that the fans feel like betrayed.
Because the project never happened?
Yeah, but then they blame me. And it's like, it ain't my fault.
It's kind of like how he blamed you for the list. And you threw it on other people.
Wow.
You're saying he's throwing it on other people?
So Heather ain't got no loyalty, huh? Is that what it is?
No, I'm just here for the facts. I'm just here for the facts.
A quantum particle.
It's after our time that we normally hear. So
I need to be anybody killer.
Can get it.
ABK. That's just what this is. It's the two richest niggas in the group. Y'all putting it on the poorest nigga in the group to bring this across the finish line. Yeah. Right? P eating caviar golden sandwiches.
LV.
Ye is stitching up 2 different Rick Owens coats to wear in the shower type shit.
You know what?
I'm trying to corral these 2, like, goddamn. But it's your fault, Lupe. I'm like, I can't. What do you mean? Anyway. So your question though, I cut it off.
So, but I read that you were gonna try to, and tell me if it's wrong, jump started by doing things solo.
So I'm gonna give you the whole story.
Okay.
And it's not long. So there's super fans of CRS, right? Super duper fans. Even I shout to Vashti when Vashti just shot our first video, Us Places, but that was like, I'm talking decades ago or whatever ago. But it was like fans, people who were like, yo, I'm gonna shoot that video. If y'all in it or not, I'm gonna just get some lookalikes and just go for it, right? So there's a lot of like fan momentum around it as a movement and like a cultural piece because the people involved, the quality of it, all that, right? So it's real legit shit, right? You play with people's hearts and emotions, things happen, right? So we always talked about it. It kind of fell to the wayside. It was never officially anywhere, so it wasn't officially at any label. I think Ye put out some stuff on the Good Fridays. But it never like landed in a place, and then again, you know, niggas get rich and crazy and shit goes left, right? But that whole time is incubating with people like Tyler, like different folks. So you're like, oh shit, that CRS shit, what's up? And P reached out to me. I was like, yo, P, we gotta like, what's up? And one of the talks was like, yo, we old niggas and rich and doing other shit. Why don't we just get the dudes who would be us now, and then just give them CRS and let them do it? You know, and let such and such replace such and such, and such and such replace such and such, and we did, and it just feels like one of those. I don't know if you're familiar with this group in Japan called Exile. They switched the members out, right? So it's like it's still Exile, but the members change.
Like Menudo.
Wow.
Right?
Yep.
And it's like, yo, what if that was this? You know, CRS was the hip hop Exile or something like that, right? And then it kind of like that kind of went nowhere. And it was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just put a record out. The initial CRS was like me just rapping over Radiohead beats. It started with me. Like just rapping over Radiohead beats because I thought it was weird and left and people would find it interesting. And that's how you get CRS. And, you know, Pharrell names it CRS. Ye want to be in, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, all right, I'm going to just go back to that original energy of me just rapping over Radiohead beats. And I'm going to just put this shit out. And what happens, happens. And name it CRS. So I did that.
Okay.
It's called Shrink.
Okay.
Put out like maybe a month ago.
I saw that.
And they sent the biggest cease and desist.
What?
Yeah, Radiohead was like, fuck all that. Listen, I tried. I'm gonna just push it through, right? And just go with the same momentum that we first started with. Just put something out, let people attach to it. And Radiohead, okay, we're gonna attach this lawyer to that shit.
Okay.
And you finna detach that shit from YouTube. And I was like, all right, cool. So I'm stepping away from CRS.
Okay.
Legally.
Thank you, Lupe. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. So that ain't gonna happen.
What else
unless y'all get together. What else I got?
You got other salacious, controversial.
No.
That's why
no.
you're bringing up the TV screen to hide.
No. But I can show. This is just like some quick. This ain't on there, bro. Come on, man. It's a couple things you done. You did a song where you had AI. What was the? You did a song for that first song you did with AI.
With Google.
With Google. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Text effects.
Okay.
So was when I was my first year at MIT. Google approached me. Shout out to all the Google folks here at Google Labs. They based in New York. So shout out to all my peoples. They want me to be a part of their, let's build a project using machine learning. And what do you want to do? It's like, I want to mine Bitcoin. It's like, we can't do that. That was a joke. You didn't get that?
Yeah, no, I got that.
Damn, that worked with a room full of white people like 2 weeks ago.
Read the room.
I want to mine.
Right.
It's after. It's after noon. We supposed to be off the air at noon.
All right.
So.
Anybody want to leave? Go ahead. Anybody want to leave? Go ahead. It's fine.
Said it didn't work.
All right. Okay, but go ahead. Go continue. So that.
Because I want to do something, make raps.
Okay.
Right, but I don't want to make something that makes the raps completely. I want to take my thought processes and the little micros that I call them. I want to create little engines of the micros that I do. So word flips or acronyms or even construction of similes and stuff like that. So they took their large language model. It was called I forgot what it was called at the time. It's called Gemini now, or at least on the front end. But it was called, I think, Bard or something like that. And they built this thing called this text effects engine on top of it, which is basically like special effects for your writing process. You know? It doesn't write full raps for you. It kind of like isolates and refines and makes efficient those little pieces that I do. So they map my brain out, and we had a whole bunch of sessions and built the interface and built the AI. We launched it last year. It won a bunch of awards for various reasons. And it's still available today. So if you're a rapper, I built it I want it to be like rappers. Yeah. But it's for writers, wordsmiths, all these different pieces. So
but can you explain that again? I'm a little confused. Can you mind explain that just a little bit more? So meaning, is it like a chat GPT, like their generative AI? Like if I want to be a rapper and I ask it to, can you write a rap song for me? Is that what it does? So it trained off of your lyrics and off of your style?
Not my lyrics and my style. The little pieces of my thought process when I go into writing a rap. So it's like, this is how I create similes. So create an engine that just creates similes, how I create similes. This is how I break apart words. So create a little engine that breaks apart words the way I break apart words. So it expands like 9 tools total, right, which is representative of my thought process. But you can't go there and like write me a rap like you can with ChatGPT. Okay. Right? Make me a whole song. It's not meant to take the artist completely out the picture. It's meant to kind of like accessorize and empower the artist.
That's why I want to give a little more time to that. It's actually dope. And so what we do is that's called, so in artificial intelligence, there's 3 spaces to it. So it's machine learning, big data, right? But what we talk about a lot is the big data piece of it. And a lot of biases that are associated with these artificial intelligence and generative AI is that these machines are not learning off of proper data sets. And so what happens is you get an output that's normally biased, or is it complete, or is it good outputs. So the fact that they were using a lyricist such as yourself to understand the lyrical breakdown, the melodic breakdown, right? The assimilation that are often used in rap as in terms of American literature. Yeah. So to use you as a human data set, I think that is really revolutionary and a breakthrough. And so I wanted to make sure we gave that just a little bit more time, because that's genius. I didn't even know they did that. But they literally use you as a human data set, where normally a data set could be something like an encyclopedia that you have the machine read, or like a recipe cookbook, but it's usually based upon text. And so the fact that they use you as a human data set, I think that's brilliant, sir.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Aren't you glad I brought that up?
Yeah. You know what? What? I've been doing the past like 2-3 years. Dope. I've been doing a bunch of dope. Like a lot of dope things have fell into my lap.
Glass of water.
In craziest way. So glass of water was, me using it. So we built it over like about, I think maybe 16 weeks or something like that. And then we had to do, like, once it was done, we had to kind of do promo and stuff for it. So me using it to write Glass of Water, or co-write Glass of Water with the AI, was like the culmination of like, okay, let's show people how to use it and like the power of it. And that's just very base level. Like it's folks that are much smarter than me who are able to take my thought processes and elevate them even higher. Right? But yeah, it's a fascinating kind of thing to see myself as a AI.
Yeah, co-written with AI.
Yes.
Glass of water. So when you do the splits, how does that work? When you do
what's the negotiation?
Who gets the publishing?
Is Glass of Water a song?
It's a song.
So it's a song that I made, almost like a demo song to show you how I would use text effects, right?
Oh, okay.
And everybody can check this out. You can go to my YouTube page. You can just Google text effects, Lupe Fiasco. It'll pop up. You can use it. You can use text effects. It's text effect. The website is a little long, but if you just Google text FX, it'll pop up and you can use it and work with it. But who owns the publishing?
I don't think it's a publishing issue, because, not to get in your business, but it seemed like there were some things negotiated. That
you kind of in my business.
No. No, because I'm talking about on the back end, though. Yeah. It sounds like it's not a commercial song. Your agreement is with Google on the back end, but it's for users who want to use it. But
like a demo.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not for commercial use.
Well, no, that's the thing, because it doesn't create full work.
Okay.
You know, it creates what I call, again, micros. So it might be a line in a record, or there's a tool called Scene, right, where you type in like luxury limousine, and it'll just generate all these different scenes of like what a luxury might feel like, a smell like, because I want to get into kind of the olfactory aspect of sense. Like using rap, we don't really use sense, the way things smell a lot. So that, okay, let's push that. And so it'll like create just scenarios, just a little line, like the leather, the red leather in the back of a limo smells like roses, right? And you can't put that into a rap. I mean, you could just be very just like brutal and put that in there, but it's more so to trigger like thought process to give you a vision of it, and it'll give you multiple versions. So it's like a writing coach, but certain tools are like a writing coach inspiration. Some things are very direct, so it'll give you a simile, like luxury or limousine. It'll give you similes for limousine, right? Yeah. And then how you use that is up to you. I was gonna say that I've never released anything commercially using text effects, right? Not yet.
But I think I think it's an interesting conversation to be had. So, and I'm literally not trying to get in your business.
No, that's cool.
But
you are in my business.
No, but this is a real conversation about intellectual property, right? When it comes to generative AI, it really comes down to IP, right? And that's the biggest issue that a lot of artists are afraid of when using generative AI is who gets a chance to actually own the IP, and particularly when these language models are learning off of something like this. And so the reason why I said this isn't, not understanding the full context of it, isn't for commercial use, because it's a tool or an aid to assist other MCs or writers into using it. And so once they use it as a tool, it becomes their commercial use if they choose to use it. But because of, I'm not going to use Lupe, but use a neutral example. If they use me, for example, want to do political news, right? If they want to know how I think about politics, how I use it, they're training off of my mind. So then once somebody goes to insert themselves how to use politics, it's no longer mine, because I helped train the machine on how to use it. So my deal is on the back end kind of dynamic, right? Yeah. But if they use it to print for the New York Times as an op-ed and they got paid for it, then that's on them. But for me, I gave up my mind and my intellect. So it's a really fascinating conversation.
Come on, Lupe is here, man. Come on, new album is Samurai.
Tour.
All right. Okay, the tour, it starts tomorrow?
Tour starts tomorrow, and right here in New York.
Come on.
The city that never sleeps.
I'm
not
going,
a peep.
man.
Tickets are cheap.
I'm going. I got to see this.
Pull up in your Jeep, your limousine.
Yeah, you want to come with me,
freak.
Mike?
Yeah, when is it?
Tomorrow.
Hop in there and be rapping over some beats.
We getting free bars right here.
I'm going to hit you with the bars like a jungle gym. I hear your Uncle Slim. I hear your Auntie Fat, but I want all of them to come to the show. I want them to rock and roll, hip hop and soul. I'ma hit you with all types of variations. It's gonna be a scary place to do your place in, to do your thing in, to do your thing-a-ling. I'ma jump around. I didn't say ding-a-ling.
Okay, wait, well, glad
I noticed what you thought, but I didn't say that. Yeah, the tour. Wait, stop. The tour starts tomorrow in Brooklyn, and then it goes, I think, like 20 cities. I know we in Hartford the day after, Philly the day after that, but you can go to lupefiasco.com/shows. I know the last show is in LA. Okay. November 25th. November 10th, we're in Chicago. We're in Atlanta, somewhere in there, Denver, a couple Ohio spots. Yeah, we're going to be San Francisco, we're going to be in the Bay. Okay. So, yeah, pull up, lupefiasco.com/shows. Get a ticket.
Love you, brother. Just want to tell you, if I never told you, I love you, man. I appreciate you, man. I know. Absolutely, man. Lupe Fiasco. I got a couple more questions for now. That was easy, Heather. Don't.
What about the people you kept on hold this whole time and don't even say hi to them?
Mad people on the phone.
What are we here for?
Hey, I will say something about Sirius XM's mix.
Yes.
Like the mix and the mask, because I got Sirius XM in my Jeep. It is very, very clean and vibrant and loud, and I'll play the same song on off my phone, like off Apple or whatever, off Apple Music. It's not the same. It doesn't have the body, you know. But so shout to Sirius XM for that, quality, acoustical, thickening that they have.
We try.
Yeah, we try, man. We adjust the levels the frequencies on the satellite to make sure that it projects properly.
Extraterrestrial,
Yeah,
actually.
man. It's like very digital.
It is extraterrestrial. Look at that. Yay, somebody.
Okay, right. Hey, Elizabeth, you're in Texas. We got Lupe on the line. Go ahead.
She laughing.
Yo.
Elizabeth.
I'm so sorry. You guys had me laughing so hard. So sorry. Mr. Fiasco, my question to you is, where did you get the inspiration from the song Sunshine that I use on my wedding day? And thank you so much for that song.
You're not a villain, dog. Yeah. Come on. You just said this. Wow.
It's about this woman I kidnapped. No, I'm just joking. That was a villain arc. I had to make it. No.
You got to put the villain in it.
It was a song about a woman I met, and it was just like, wow, and it's dedicated to her. She know who she is. But yeah.
Okay, Liz.
Oh, that is so awesome, because that's actually what happened with me and my husband. I met him through a mutual friend, went to Canada to go visit. He loved me so much, ended up falling in love, came to Texas, moved in, and we recently just got married. So thank you.
Wow.
I love it.
Congratulations.
Sorry, I know people are waiting to talk to you.
This for you. Here, listen to this.
Congrats.
Listen to this. Hey, it's for you and your husband. Hey, come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
All right.
Fresh to death she is. From my steps to the set she is. So death might not let me live. You dig? Fresh she is. Had a feeling. Hold on, cut it off.
Yeah, there you go, Liz.
Oh, dang.
So
Yeah.
there's a villain to this story for that song, for real, right? So Pharrell charges too much for beats. I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
Too much for beats.
Okay.
Way too much for beats.
Okay.
At that time, this 06, 05,
right.
06. And so couldn't afford a Pharrell beat. So I was like, yo, soundtrack, make a beat that sound like the Neptunes.
That's what that is?
Yeah, that's how I knock off Neptune's
Know
beat.
that all of you?
Got little stabs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is them. You can hear it.
Yeah.
That's that Fugazi Pharrell right
Drums,
there.
that's
Chad.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Fugazi for real. Hey,
Hey,
Liz,
Lolo.
thank you, Liz. You're a
That's the
citizen.
Sheehan version.
Thank you, love you guys.
Okay, Dre in Chicago. What you want to say real
See?
quick?
That's a villain there. A song about theft.
Hey, I want to say what up to Luz. I want to say what up to everybody on the morning show. I appreciate all y'all. I listen
Good
to you every
morning.
morning on the way to work.
Thank
You're
you.
a citizen.
Let's Sway in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, for sure. I had a chance to meet y'all when y'all came up here to Chicago to the Hooters downtown. I met Sway. I met you, Heather B.
What's up, baby?
And I met Tracy G as well. I appreciate all y'all. I love y'all. Hey, funny story though. I actually grew up with Lupe.
Here we go with these
I
lies.
had the blessing.
Hey, now you finna stop
Oh
lying
yeah, here we
right
go with
now.
these
He
lies.
like,
Hey, I had the
grew up
blessing
with him.
Wait,
Feel
to
me?
be a part of Tornado Martial Arts.
Wow. See?
Under the mastery of Master Jaco.
Oh, wow.
What school? Which school?
The one that we had right across the street from De La Salle. What was that on 35th in Michigan?
35th in Michigan. Yeah.
My
That's what
father
you
is
just
Sensei
told me.
Marlon.
Oh no way, your father Sensei Marlon. We doing the
Yes, sir.
we're planning right now the memorial for my dad, a celebration of his life in Chicago. I think it's November 11th. So Sensei Marlon.
Yeah, my dad just told me about it like a couple days ago. He told me about it. So yeah, I'll be there for
See
sure.
the time.
I'm bringing my family through and everything.
That's love, Dre. Hey, what was Lupe like when y'all was younger? Did he have that face he
Hey.
talks about?
The rest of
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, he always had that face. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. Hey, but he was the first dude that I actually thought was a cool person that wore glasses. No lie to you. But Lupe, he probably about 6 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? So I was about 7 or 8 one time, and I was talking to him, and he used to tell me that he could shoot fireballs through his hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Luke Kane. So I used to ask him like, "Hey man, I need you to show me how to shoot them fireballs, man." He's like, "Hey, when you turn 13, I'll show you how to shoot fireballs." I'm still waiting on him to show me how to do it.
Okay.
Wow.
You could really. What does that mean? Shoot fireballs?
So just real quick, like anything. Did you hear me talking about my dad and the school and stuff we had to do?
Yeah, absolutely. With the nail boards, with the sheet-knife, standing in the stands, getting hit on our arms, our shoulders, our legs, using our hands and feet to blow out candles, like with kicks and punches. Yeah, man, all of that shit is valid, man, for real.
Yeah, but
Master
do you
Jaco,
do you generate fire in your hands and throw it?
So my dad
Okay.
has a technique that he only taught to certain students. where they could throw fire. For
Mm-hmm.
real. I say it with the face like I'm serious. Like he taught there's a certain technique. It's a secret to it.
Okay.
But you could throw a fireball across the room.
Wow.
A pre-generated fireball, or are you generate it with your hands and throw it?
That's magic.
Okay.
So it's been a great day, everybody. BK.
There's martial arts and there's magic.
Sway, you gotta go.
Are we done? I gotta go.
No,
You gotta go.
I gotta go.
Who gotta go? I gotta leave. Okay, cool.
Dre, you a citizen, man. Thank you,
Sway
brother.
water, Dre.
And now,
Don't forget, C. Brown. Just to take the last one, Sway. You've been nothing home for
like
an
Lupe
hour,
think
bro.
he Dragon Ball right now.
Heather
I'm gonna
did
get that. People
No,
gonna
you
find a
said-
way to hate on this. I'm so serious. Like my dad taught students. He got certain students. One of his students, his name was Percy Bell, who actually was on Mortal Kombat. Did a like a traveling stage show. So this is the time when Mortal Kombat was popping, like the video game, all that. And they did like the movie, but then they did like a stage show. And one of his students, his name's Percy Bell, still instructs, still teaches to this day. He's one of my father's top students, and he was one of the performers at the stage show. And my father taught him when he was like 14, 15 how to throw fire from his hands.
Yeah, I believe you, bro. I'm just asking questions, man. C. Brown, you take us home, C. Brown. What's your question, man?
Man, good morning. Good morning
Real
to all
quick,
y'all
real
good folks.
Thank
man.
you, C. Brown. Real fast. Heather trying to go.
Already. Hey, Heather, I damn sure don't mean to hold you up.
I know
I just
you
wanted to call in.
See, I got you on the line, because Sway was about to book out, and I'm like, you've been waiting for a long time. You gonna ask the last question?
I appreciate it.
I got you.
I greatly appreciate y'all. And I actually was another brother that came from Dallas that met y'all at Hooters in downtown Chicago. So I sure enough appreciate the love y'all gave me that weekend. Just wanted to call in and give Lupe his flowers. On my list, he is top 5 MC. And, anything good coming out of the Shy and anything good coming out of Little Rock, that's where I'm originally from, I'm going to represent. And Lupe, to me, represents the finest of what Chi-Town has delivered in my 44 years of living. So much love to you, Lupe, and love the freestyle with you, Overcast, and Kalani.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
Wow,
appreciate
man. Hey, thank you, C. Brown. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your call.
That's that Little Rock, Chicago gangster disciple connection right there. That's right. Banging in Little Rock.
I saw that on
Give
HBO.
us some beats so we can I'm gonna just rap and fade me out, and y'all can do whatever y'all need to do. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Okay.
Give me some beats.
You're going to say bye over
just say
freestyle.
bye, yeah.
Okay,
y'all
cool.
Can wrap it up.
All right. So while we're doing that, we want to thank my man for coming by Overcast, right?
Overcast.
Salute to Overcast. Salute
Shout
to
to
Lonnie Light on the
Overcast
bike.
for
Heather
coming
B,
past, coming through,
Tracy
Heather
G,
B.
Mike
What it do? What
Muse,
it's like?
Mike Muse, my
Lonnie
man
Light.
Torch
All
DB. I go by the name of Sway.
Swiggity. I thought that was gonna say.
What's a sway?
Swiggity. Yo, Lupe.
Don't play.
Take us home.
Take us home. We about to go back to the crib. They say that Eve came from Adam's rib, but I don't believe that, you dig. I think it's mitochondrial NDA when they talk about how we come from and where we stay. That's how we play, and we do this thing all day. I'm on the microphone up here with Sway. We on Sirius XM. You better text them and call them and tell them that he up there doing something appalling. They call him Paul when he was in the Bible, but that's just me and my cycle. I'm a psycho, I'm off my cycle. I'ma grab my rifle, I'ma do something spiteful, but I'ma be polite though. They say he encased this race in this space. Lupe got arrested, bitch face. Switch place, switch states, and jump from the jam. A shout to homie calling in from Little Rock and from Dallas and from Emily for that sunshine one time. I ain't gonna spit no more gun lines. We gonna talk about beauty and prosperity and doing things properly and moving through the hood, not sloppily or awkwardly. We gonna talk about who we voting for, who we going for, what we knowing of. Shout to everybody who lost someone. Shout to everybody who don't boss no one. Shout to everybody who keep it all to theyself and and prosperity and wealth and everything for Delph. And we talking about mathematics. We talking about not being crack addicts or having bad habits. We talking about improving our tactics, being masters and getting money from our masters. We talking about not being blasted, being plastered, unless we talking about being made in art or being sculptures. We looking out for the culture of vultures. We shooting down birds. We gonna turn them into Popeyes and Pop Guys. If they try to rock with us, they not stopping us. You know who I be. Lupe on the MIC, representing that MIT and the CHI. Goodbye.
Hey! One of the dopest ever. Off the top. I've heard a lot. Shit. Lupe Fiasco. Come on, man. Lupe, man. Love this guy. Samurai, that's the name of the project. Hip hop is alive. It's alive and growing. Lupe, say his name 3 times. Lupe. On that note, we have nothing
Lupe
left to say.